Hello guys, this is Vysh. So today is January 10, 2022. So Monday's editorial we'll be looking. Sunday there is no editorial, so that is why yesterday there was no episode. So hope you're seeing all the videos and subscribe to both the channels, Vysh IAS and Vysh Courses, and also connected in our Instagram because there are also a lot of posts will be there, motivational posts, stories, and your preparation strategies. Many things will be there. So please connect with us everywhere. Okay. And regarding WhatsApp, also I told you have to save our number. Okay, save the number and then send WhatsApp UPSC free. Okay, if you're already connected in my WhatsApp and you're getting daily updates, it's okay. If you are not getting notification, that is because you have not saved our number. Okay, because when we broadcast it, maybe it will not reach you when you have not saved it. Okay, and also subscribe and hit the bell icon. And these are all the free video lectures, which again I'll show you in this video itself, the thumbnails of those videos. So first we'll see the agenda for today. What are the articles which are being discussed here, which will be some are important, some are not important. So first one, if you see unchanged, okay, so this unchanged is nothing but the EWS reservation quota, 10% quota, which is being given. So that government was not able to explain clearly, like how come they decided like 8 lakh rupees is the annual income, or the what is the criteria for getting EWS quota. So that Supreme Court have been asking the government, and government not giving a proper reply. So Supreme Court was expected that they will ask them to stop it or ban it till they give an explanation. But as of now, some medical, some engineering or something is going on. So for that, EWS quota is continuing because already in the notification it was announced. So for that exam also, or that admission also, it will continue. But again after that, maybe Supreme Court will tell the center to give a proper explanation. So there's nothing else to discuss here. EWS quota is continuing. That's all. Okay. Now second one, if you see growth concerns, this is again numbers. Lot of NSO, National Strategic Office, has given a lot of numbers that India will become the fastest growing economy. So the inflation, GDP, and a lot of numbers. But this random article number is not important for you. Economic survey will come anyway within a few weeks. Economic survey and budget in February 1st it will come. So that time those numbers we'll discuss. Okay, this is random numbers of this particular month. You don't need it. Now next one, if you see the Mediation Bill 2021, it's a bill which is very important and it's in discussion. So this we'll see, okay, because in GS2 and all directly they'll take a act and ask you to explain a bill or an act. So this we'll discuss. Next, if you see governor versus state government. So this actually two articles are there. If you see here also, this is actually governor versus state government in general also, and also the cases of Kerala and Maharashtra. Okay, two examples they have given, and here Tamil Nadu they have given. Okay, so that we'll see what is the discussion, what is the problem, because always governor is a like kind of executive, and state government is the other legislative and the executive body. So always some problems will come. So that what is happening we'll discuss. Okay, then here is a cricket related statistics of this Mohammad Shami, the pace bowler. So that is not important for you. Then here if you see, this is the personal data protection bill, which multiple times we have discussed, but here Congress spokesperson is writing this article. So obviously you will know it will be fully criticism, but we'll see. Okay, because what are the important points and some clauses we'll see here. Then here again there's nothing to discuss. This is about the mask. Okay, which mask you should wear, because Omicron is spreading very fast and the numbers are very high. Okay, especially in Maharashtra, I think 20,000 cases were there yesterday, one single day. So everybody has to be careful. So here they are telling some best mask like American N95 standard, then European FFP2 standard, Chinese KN95, Korean KF94. So some names alone in your exams and all, maybe if you need to quote something, you can tell. Okay, then again some 3M has introduced some VFlex, which is some new thing. And again they're telling the new high filtration type mask and all. It's available on Amazon and all, but it's very costly. Okay, so people hopefully should get something which is of high quality, but again it should be affordable also. So that related pricing and things of the mask they are telling. Okay, but overall message is you have to wear mask, you have to be sanitized, and whoever has taken double dose vaccination, even when Omicron is getting into them, they are getting it just like a mild flu. So hopefully you are vaccinated. Please take vaccination. Okay, both the doses. So that is about it. So we'll discuss this green color 3 articles today. That is the agenda. Okay, so again we are targeting rank holders who will be clearing this 2022 of all stages. So please see to that you are listening to all our lectures made by the entire team members in English and Hindi. Lectures are there. And also in Vysh courses, we have this daily current affair video. 2 episodes were uploaded yesterday. Again, 2 I'll upload today. So every day, these are non-editorial articles. Okay, it's also taken from Hindu or Indian Express or Times Now. All are important articles for you. Okay, so here you see the Florona case in Israel. Then here Smile scheme, which I uploaded yesterday. And today 8:30 p.m. this green energy corridor will come. All these are very, very important for UPSC students. Others need not watch. Okay, other exams it's not a problem, but UPSC students, please watch it. It's just 6-minute, 8-minute, 10-minute video. You will get a huge amount of knowledge from this videos. Okay, then these are the playlist. Okay, if you're seeing first time this channel, Spectrum is there in Hindi and English. Tamil Nadu textbook, and this and all. In another 1 month it will get complete. Okay, the textbook will get complete. R.S. Sharma is already completed. Satish Chandra is halfway. Nitin Sangyania already 20-30 episodes we have done. Then here if you see fine arts is there. then polity in Hindi and English, environment in Hindi and English, geography NCERT Hindi and English, economics in Hindi as of now, English we will plan after February. So many things are there. So if you don't watch it, these are the mains lectures, GS 1, 2, 3, it's written here. All these things are completely free. Okay, only thing, please hit the subscribe button of this channel, Vysh IAS and Vysh courses, and hit the bell icon, and please participate. Tell in comment section how do you like it. Are you waiting for the next episode? What was the problem in that? Whether audio was any problem? Tell everything so that we can improve it, because as long as you support us, this will be free. Okay, when the support stops, maybe small paid courses we'll think of, but please support us. Okay, so again we'll see more things. These are the for editorial queries, like whether you should read the newspaper yourself, whether you should make notes out of it, basic queries. Okay, please pause it and read it if you are watching this for the first time. Now, governor, I told you, governor versus state government is always a problem everywhere. So if you see the recent media reports, okay, this Maharashtra Kerala cases are the ones which is being discussed in this article. Okay, the gist is given here. Maharashtra, actually the governor is refusing to accept the date of election of the speaker recommended by the state government. Okay, so actually now Maharashtra assembly doesn't have a speaker now. Okay, because the governor is not allowing the date or something. So that whether the government has that, governor has that power or not, that we'll discuss in the upcoming slides. Then Kerala, if you see what happened is the vice chancellor appointment. Okay, some vice chancellor was appointed. Then after appointing, the governor only appointed him. After that, governor is telling like the government pressurized me to appoint that particular person as the vice chancellor, so I'm not happy with it now. Okay, so those two things we'll discuss, whether it was actually forced or what is the scenario. Okay, then again, this is not first time that such things are happening. In West Bengal, it's a regular feature. In Rajasthan also this has been witnessed, and I showed you in another article, Tamil Nadu also that is happening. Okay, Tamil Nadu also, it's about this vice chancellor appointment. So that also I'll tell when this Kerala case we discuss. Okay, so now earlier it was a rare occurrence, rarely it will happen, but now open confrontations clearly cross the boundaries of what is constitutionally permissible behavior, meaning what is not expected, that kind of behavior, that kind of fight, that kind of arguments are happening in the open. So it is not a good sign for Indian constitution and Indian democracy. Okay. So, if you know the history of office of governor in the colonial era and all, governor was the absolute ruler of a province. Okay, who was answerable only to the king. He was like the governor of Bengal, governor of Bombay. You see in Spectrum textbook and Lakshmikant textbook and all, you would have seen. So they used to have ultimate power. Okay, but now if you see this thing, okay, closer look at the debates in the Constituent Assembly, because when Ambedkar and the other people were doing this, right, the constitution framing, that time also these debates came, whether we should give same powers like how the British governors had, or whether we should have some other things like only state government should have more power. So that debates were there. That time various viewpoints were there, divergent views were there. And then if you see, governor to be as powerful as the colonial era governors, but Ambedkar was against it. Ambedkar told he should be only the constitutional head, and the executive power should be vested entirely in the elected government. Okay, because governor is not elected, governor is selected. Okay, by the center obviously, or the president who will appoint him. So now only thing they did is the Ambedkar, he gave some discretionary powers to the governor, meaning some bills and all you can reserve it for the president. You can put some president's rule kind of thing you can recommend to the president. Some extra discretionary powers was given, but other than that, the more executive powers with the state government only. But state government is kind of subordination to the union government as per our structure we have, federal structure we have. It's not like fully federal, it is kind of quasi-federal. So it is like union government is on top and state government is kind of below it. Okay, not in all means, but most of the means. So again, governor was given discretionary powers. Okay, now governor who emerged from the Constituent Assembly was one with the certain discretionary powers prescribed by under the Constitution, unlike the President of India, who has not been given any such powers. President also has some extra powers, but it's not like the president can reserve the bill for someone else above him. There is no one above him. Okay, so that is why governor has a special discretionary power. Okay, now some act and articles are given here. So Article 163, that is related to the governor only. So that was a blind copy kind of thing of the Section 50 of the Government of India Act 1935. We know most of the things we adopted from Government of India Act 1935. So this Article 163 was directly taken from it. Okay, so Article 163 you should be knowing. It is the basics about the governor. Council of Ministers to aid and advise governor. There shall be a council of ministers with the chief minister at the head to aid and advise the governor in exercise of his functions, except in far as he is or by under this constitution required to exercise his functions or any of them in his discretion. Okay, so this entire thing and all you don't have to by heart, but you should know there is a council of ministers under the chief minister, and they will aid and advise the governor. And if any question arises, anything, any matter or something, governor is like under the constitution required to act in his discretion. Okay, so that is mentioned. Like if UPSC asked like discretion, word is it mentioned in the constitution? It is mentioned. Okay, so decision of the governor in his discretion shall be final. Okay, and the validity of anything done by the governor shall not be called in question on the ground that he ought or ought not to have acted in his discretion. The question whether any, and if so what, advice was tendered by ministers to the governor shall not be inquired into any court. Okay, so again it will not go to court and all. It's like internal thing they are advising, he has to follow. Okay, so that is the 163 article. Now again, if you see, because of that exact copy, there is some vagueness about the actual powers of the governor when compared to the elected government. Okay, then later some case and all came, Shamsher Singh case 1974 and all. So in 2016 also this case is there. So all those times Supreme Court has always told that, the court has always told that governor can, in the exercise of executive power of the state, act only on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, except for some very exceptional situations. Okay, like this failure of constitution or something election problem. Other than that, always aid and advice of the ministers is there. So this article 163, they have even stressed it by the courts also. Okay, so governor is not like some superpower. So now one slide we will see about the Maharashtra case and the Kerala case. So Maharashtra governor's refusal to accept the date of election of the speaker goes against the principle of constitutional government. Okay, because constitution has not assigned any role to the governor in the election of the speaker under article 178, which is exclusive the job of the house. Okay, meaning the house has to elect the speaker. House has to elect the speaker. It is not the governor. Okay, governor is just signing it. Okay, or appointing in the final thing. So as per this thing, it is not there. But we have a house rule. Okay, house rule which says that governor shall fix the date. Meaning like we have Lok Sabha rules and all. The state assembly has a rule. Okay, so that rule book tells that governor shall fix the date. But the date has no such significance. Okay, usually the procedure is how is, whenever you have to elect a speaker, the government, okay, fixes the date and conveys it to the secretary of the assembly, who forward it to the office of the governor for his signature. So governor just have to sign it. It's all done by the state government only. And after the date is formally approved by the governor, which he is duty bound to do, the members are informed about it. Okay, like governor is like signed it. Okay, we have informed. So speaker will be selected or elected there. Okay. Now the question is, if the governor does not approve the date, can the election be held? That is the problem now. Okay. So fixing the date of the governor is not of any constitutional importance, but election of the house is the important thing. So if the governor stands in the way of election, the only way open to the house is to amend that particular rule which empowers the governor to fix the date. Meaning, now constitution, we no need to change anything because it's the house rule which is objecting it. House rule is telling that governor should fix the date. So the house rule will amend it and change it something like, it can provide that the secretary, on receiving the date from the government, shall directly notify the members of the same. Meaning he will not go for signature to the governor like we told here. Okay, so that is the rule change which is being thought of by the states. Okay, to change the house rule itself. Now, election, how it will happen? It will happen through secret ballot or through a motion in the house, as same in the Lok Sabha only. Okay. So now it's the first time in history that a governor has refused to fix the date of election of speaker, and consequently the election could not be held. So Maharashtra assembly is now without a speaker. So this is a case study kind of thing. Okay, one example where in case you have to write where governor versus state government, you can use this example. Okay, because it's very near contemporary kind of issue. And Article 178 which is mentioned here, if you see, speaker and deputy speaker, the legislative assembly, okay, every legislative assembly of a state shall, as soon as may be chosen, choose 2 members of the assembly, meaning the legislative assembly will choose. Okay, governor has no role here as per the constitution. That is why I showed you this. One I showed you Article 163, one I showed you Article 178. Like this, if you keep revising every day Hindu editorial, right, your polity will get revised very easily. Okay. Now Kerala. Kerala is even more interesting. Kerala, if there is a controversy about the reappointment of a vice chancellor. One thing you should know is governor, the post governor, right, it is by default the ex officio chancellor. Okay. Not the vice chancellor, the main chancellor. Governor is the chancellor. Like we have in center, right? In center we have Rajya Sabha's chairman is the vice president of India. Okay, same like that. The governor of a state is the ex officio chairman of the this thing. Okay, the university. Okay, so now here if you see, suggestion from the state government was that we reappointment one of the vice chancellor. Okay, so state government told that. So governor being the ex officio chancellor of the university, he is the appointing authority. So he accepted what the state government told and appointed him. But after some time, the governor went public and told serious allegation that he was forced. Okay, he was under the pressure from the government. So I signed the order, else I am not interested in it. But now if you see, as per law, there has been no mistake. Okay, governor has acted as per the law. He has heard what the government has told. He has signed it. And also there is a University Act. In University Act also it's told like the vice chancellor has the eligibility for reappointment also. It's not like only one time he can be appointment. So everything is fine. So why suddenly he told nobody has any idea? Okay. And the Act does not lay down any specific procedure for the reappointment. Chancellor has the right in accepting the suggestion of the or the recommendation. Okay. Also, one thing is that he can listen to anybody's suggestion, and he also has the thing to reject also. If you see here, he could have also rejected the suggestion from the government. Okay. He listened to it, he appointed it, and now why he is suddenly telling all this, nobody knows. Okay, governor as a chancellor is not required to act on the advice of the Council of Ministers in the matter of appointment of vice chancellor and others in the university. He can act absolutely independently. So why he has done it, nobody has any idea. Kerala High Court also has clarified this in multiple occasions, that governor of Kerala has to apply his mind when such a suggestion comes. He should see the merit of the person, everything, and then he should sign the order, okay, before signing the appointment order. So all this is done. So it is baffling why he chose to go public and such serious allegations have happened. Okay, now another thing he is telling is, if you are not listening to me, then I am resigning from the chancellor post, the ex officio chancellor post. But there is a twist. You should know that if you are wanting to leave that, you should leave the other post also. You should not be the governor also, because governor by default is the ex officio chancellor. So he cannot just tell like, okay, I am like himself of the ex officio charge of chancellor. I want to give away the charge of being a chancellor. That alone you cannot do it. Okay, if you want to do it, you have to resign from the governor post itself. Okay, so that is the problem here. So these are bizarre situations, and you should know this happens always where in the non center state. Okay, meaning like center is BJP, most of the states are BJP, and this Maharashtra, it is not BJP, and in the Kerala also it's not BJP. So whenever the center is finding some problem with any state where they are not in power, that is where these kind of things happen. Governor will be speaking on behalf of the center maybe. So like that, some problems will keep occurring there. Okay, they will never be happy and they'll be fighting with each other. The state versus center problem. Okay, so these are some extra points here. Governor is a high constitutional authority. He needs to function within the four walls of the constitution. He should be a friend, philosopher, guide to the government. Constitution does not allow him to be a parallel government. Okay, then again, if you see opposition rule states only, this usually happens. Then here, if you see, one quote is there by one person, Pandit Thakur Das Bhargava. Okay, he was a member of the assembly along with Ambedkar. So he told, governor will be a man above party, and he will look at the minister and government from a detached standpoint, meaning he should be an impartial kind of person. Okay, that is the essence of Indian ancient culture. But his voice is like nobody cares. Okay, nobody even remembers such a big statement. So this can be a introduction line if you want, or a conclusion line if you want, for this kind of points. Okay, wherever governor's conflict with the state government comes, this is an excellent quote you can use. Okay. Now, second one, mediation bill. So mediation means what? Mediation means if something is there, you are trying to mediate it, meaning you are trying to not go to the court and settling it outside. Okay, so that mediation kind of one bill is being introduced now, okay, in December. So we'll see. Actually, the CJI, the Chief Justice of India, in multiple occasions, first in July 2021, he told mediation should be mandatory as a first step in dispute resolution, and that a law should be framed in this regard. Okay, because in India, there is a huge pendency of cases. Okay. So mediation for everyone, realizing mediation's potential in India. This is the speech title which he was giving. So he told that a movement needs to be launched to popularize mediation, as it was a cheaper and faster dispute resolution. Okay. Now again in December 2021, recently in some conclave, okay, curtain raiser and stakeholders conclave of International Arbitration and Mediation Center, IAMC, in Hyderabad, he told court should be the last resort for dispute resolution. Therefore, one should explore the options of alternate dispute resolution. You should have some other means to it. Okay. Now in India, though mediation finds legitimacy in some specific clause, meaning like we have this Code for Civil Procedure, then this Arbitration Act, Companies Act, Commercial Court Act, there are some other small act is there in which there is a provision for mediation also. But individually, standalone, we don't have a mediation related act. That is why now a Mediation Bill 2021 is being introduced. So one good example is that in Tamil Nadu, there is a Mediation and Consultation Center, where if you see, it's an initiative of Madras High Court, and that is the first kind of court related thing. Okay, court has first time announced that, okay, we'll have a mediation center. It was inaugurated in 2005, and this has significantly reduced the cases count. Okay, the pendency cases. So it's actually working. So this can be an example. Tamil Nadu model can be an example, and we need to do it across India. Okay. Now, December 2021, the mediation bill was introduced. Okay, it seeks to promote mediation, including online, and provide for enforcement of settlement agreements resulting from mediation. So, if you see, civil commercial disputes will be there, the property disputes, the marriage disputes, divorce, many disputes will be there where you need not go to the court. There can be a mediation outside, there can be a monetary compensation outside. So, many things are there. So, that should go. Okay, so disputes not fit for mediation include those relating to these things. Okay, like criminal offenses, disputes involving serious specific fraud, this and all has to directly go to court. It cannot go for mediation. Okay, fabrication of documents, forgery, impersonation. So anything which is very serious should go to the court. Okay, so in certain provisions of the bill, it is told, like if you see first, second, third, some sections they are explaining what all is covered. So first, some section 7 is telling courts will be competent to refer any dispute to mediation relating to compoundable offenses or matrimonial offenses connected with or arising out of civil proceedings. Okay, so any dispute related to this marriage offenses and this thing and all, monetary compensation and all, compoundable means which is a monetary compensation kind of thing. So all these things can be referred to the mediation committee. Okay, then second, if you see any dispute likely to affect peace, harmony, tranquility amongst the residents or family or any area of locality, that can be settled through community mediation. Okay, if it's a society kind of thing or locality kind of thing. Okay, and then again, if you see third one, it shall not be overriding effect. Okay, meaning some things are kept outside the purview also. Like if you see this maintenance and welfare of the parents and Senior Citizen Act 2007 and this sexual harassment of women at workplace, these two are actually, it's not overriding. Okay, these things have their own kind of mechanism that is not covered under this thing. Okay, that in the next slide again I'll show you. Okay, so here if you see, it may lead to compounding of criminal offense arising out of that civil or commercial dispute. Okay, because some, always serious offenses, how it happens, serious offenses are outcomes of minor disputes. So you have to carefully see which are minor disputes which will be going into a bigger case, which can be like, it will look like a civil case but it can turn out to be a criminal case later. So carefully you have to put it like under the court or under the mediation thing, so that they have just explained it here. Okay, so if you don't tackle it properly, the minor dispute, then it may lead to serious offenses. Okay, then again if you see, the proposed law primarily intends to resolve civil and commercial disputes through mediation. It has ample scope to relieve some of the pressures on law enforcement agencies. Okay, so as I told, the sexual harassment of women and this senior citizen thing is kept out of the purview. Okay, under the scope, outside the scope of the mediation bill. Okay, then again here some things are given. Section 320 of the CRPC provides for compounding of certain criminal offenses. Meaning compounding, as I told, it's like settling outside with criminal this monetary compensation. Okay, you give some money and then settle. Meaning one person apologizes and then it is like, okay, understood, and outside the court settlement you do. So in CRPC itself, for criminal case also there are some exceptions. Okay, so here you see 43 criminal cases from body offenses to property offenses and 13 offenses which are greater gravity, all have this thing compounded with permission of the court. Okay, compounded means monetary settlement with the permission of the court. So there is provisions there also, that is a separate thing already existing in our system. Okay, so a case may be compounded any time before the sentence is pronounced, meaning it can be monetary settled any time before the sentence is pronounced. Okay, now if you see that term, just I'm showing you, the composition of an offense is a settlement of a criminal charge between the victim and the accused. Normally the accused makes monetary compensation and offers an apology to the victim. When an offense has been compounded, the accused is effectively acquitted of his crime. Meaning when it is compounded or it is settled, then his case is gone. Okay, he is removed from that case. So such things already happens in our system. But now for civil and other cases and all, this mediation bill is also introduced. Okay. Now, if there is a composition of an offense during investigation, the parties can either approach the court or the police. Okay, meaning if you want to settle it, you can approach the court or police. Now again, they will do everything. Okay, they'll record the statement, they will check whether it is genuine, and then finally make the report. Okay, whether it is a properly settlable thing. Okay, you can settle it outside or not. Okay, appropriate orders may be passed by the court and leave granted to compound the offense. The number of offenses which can be compounded may also be increased, particularly property offenses. Okay, so many property offenses are there which will be having out of the court settlement. Okay, and also in this law commission report, in 243rd report and the section 498, everything relating to cruelty by the husband or relatives can also be made compoundable. Okay, these kind of things are also there in already existing laws. Okay, so these all have far-reaching consequence in resolving matrimonial disputes. So many civil or commercial disputes are given the color of criminal offense and reported to the police so that they get resolved under the fear of arrest. Okay, some small case you would have seen, like directly they will put a big blame on them so that they will, out of the fear, they will tell, okay, let's settle it. Okay, so many commercial things also sometimes is shown as a criminal offense sometimes so that it gets resolved faster. Okay, then police at times take minor cases lightly or reduce the seriousness of crime by converting a cognizable offense into a non-cognizable one. So what is cognizable and non-cognizable? Cognizable means in which the police can arrest without any warrant. Okay, non-cognizable means police can arrest only with a warrant. Okay, so this is very easy to study. Like cognizable means without. Okay, but when non comes, non is with. Okay, it's a kind of opposite. Cognizable means without, non-cognizable means with. Okay, with warrant or without warrant you can arrest that person. Okay, so police at times takes minor cases lightly or reduce the seriousness of a crime by converting a cognizable offense into a non-cognizable one. Okay, now therefore the proposed law of mediation has the mechanism of not only preventing the breakdown of law and order through community intervention, but also the competence to smoothen the route to compounding of certain criminal offences may ultimately relieve some of the pressure on the police. So again, they're telling this only, relieve the pressure on the police or the court or the legal agencies. So this bill will help in all those things. Now, third article, Data Protection Bill. Data Protection Bill we have already seen, and UPSC already have asked question in both prelims and mains. In 2018 mains and 2019 or 20 prelims also question has come, okay, about the right to privacy. There is a Puttaswamy judgment is there, and there is this Justin B and C Krishna committee report. Both were telling about the right to privacy and data protection and all personal data. So we came up with a personal data protection bill also, which is yet to become an act. Okay, so that now joint committee report has come on the bill, and they have failed to provide a robust draft legal legislation. Okay, so one thing you have to understand is this is written by Congress spokesman. So you will see everything negative only. Okay, there will be not a single thing about this thing where good will be written. Okay, that in a separate article I think we have already discussed. This is about all the criticism which is telling about this particular bill. Okay, so under the constitution, fundamental rights are enforced against the state and its instrumentalities are not against private bodies. Okay, the Puttaswamy judgment held the right to privacy is a fundamental right. So now the problem is the report has divided the digital world into two domains. One is government and one is private. Okay, because the question of right to privacy emerges only when operations and activities of private entities are concerned. Okay, because we know what is fundamental right. Fundamental right is always against the state. Okay, it's not like and not against the private bodies. Okay, so now if you see here, different clauses are given. So clause 12 and clause 35 and all, if you see, they are giving exemptions to government and government agencies, and also some are like ignoring the complete, meaning government agency doesn't even come under its purview, meaning they can still use the data of people, or they can still use the data for some state related issues and all. So that why it is there, that is the person asking, okay, like if private people cannot touch our data, why should government touch our data? Okay, so these clauses are not right according to him. Okay, so clause 12, which says personal data can be processed without consent for the performance of any function of the state, is an umbrella clause that does not specify which ministry or department will be covered. Like who will access our data, nothing is mentioned here. Okay, so again, it's like they're telling that this is the gist of it. The government can use these provisions as a means of control and surveillance. Okay, rather than data protection, it's like a control and surveillance kind of bill where government will have access to all our data. Okay, so if private entities can be given a transition time to comply with the act, why should the same not be extended to government entities? Why should they be given a blank exception instead? Okay, meaning he is telling government also should not be able to touch anybody's data. Okay, so the committee has failed to provide formidable firewalls to protect the privacy of individuals, and also has carved out a mechanism for government control over personal data. Okay, the provisions are ultra vires. So ultra vires means what? Against the legal authority or power, meaning you don't have the right to do that. Okay, like suppose we tell a legislation is ultra vires, that means that you don't have the, sorry about the spelling, you don't have the authority to make that law. Okay, so what judgment to privacy came against that is what the bill is. That is what he's telling. Okay, the government don't have a right to make such a bill where the government can touch the data of people. Okay, so again, as per the provisions of the act, there is something called Data Protection Authority which has to be appointed. Okay, so and this one bill itself gives an elaborate detailing of its functions, duties and all, whether a single authority will be able to discharge so many functions. That is what we have to see now. So terms and conditions of appointment is what is raising concerns. Okay, because in the C Krishna committee report, which provided for judicial overlook in the appointment of the DPA, the bill entrusts the executives with the appointment. Meaning, in the report it is told there should be a judicial overlook, and that is how the appointment should be made in this DPA. Okay, Data Protection Authority. But in the bill which came out now, it is entrusting the executive with the, meaning central government with the appointment. Okay, so power to appoint the panelist vests with the central government. Okay, so while ensuring the protection of citizens' fundamental right, it is necessary that the authority entrusted with the responsibility should work independently. And here section 86 is telling authority should be bound by the directions of central government. Okay, then how can it be independent? If it is bound to listen to the direction of central government under all cases and not just question of policy, then how can this DPA act independently? Okay, that is the right question he's asking. So this makes the DPA duty bound to follow the orders of the government. This weakens its independence and gives the government excessive control. Okay, so these are good things which is not pointing out, and so government should answer to all these things. So further, the appointment of authority violates the principle of federalism. Okay, because data, if it is flowing through center, state and all, state is also a key stakeholder. Okay, and public order is always a entry in the state list, if you know. So if you don't involve state government inside this, only center has all the powers, then this is not the right way of federalism. It is violating the principle of federalism. Okay, state data protection authority also should be there. It has to be monitored by state also.
Then one of the objective of the bill is to promote the digital economy. Okay, so here he's telling like if everybody, government and all these people have access to it, the data is no longer protected properly also, and also to set up everything. Okay, this technical things behind this data sharing and data control and all, MSC sector, everybody will not be able to afford all the systems and everything. Okay, like keeping the data here, or keeping it locally, or keeping it in the place they tell. All these things involve technical things also, so it will hit the MSME sector is what he's telling. Okay, then the government constituted one panel is there, S. Gopalakrishnan. He also opposed the idea of including non-personal data in the bill. Okay, mandatory data localization, it is estimated, will squeeze the economy by this thing. So this numbers and all not very important, but he's telling it will economically affect the MSME sector. Okay, so again, if you see here, the report has raised more questions than it has solved. Bill is more surveillance and control than privacy. Loopholes must be plugged so that India can have a robust data protection law. So this way of ending, okay, this is how you have to write in your answer also. You should never write very long sentences. Okay, sometimes you would have seen, like I'm telling, some articles are very poorly written. Why? Because he starts a sentence, the author, it will go like 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. Like a paragraph will be one sentence. There will be no full stop at all. If you write like that, the examiner will not like it. Instead, you should break it down to small points like this. Okay, report has raised more questions than it has solved. Bill is more about surveillance and control than privacy. Loopholes must be plugged so that India can have a robust data protection law. So like that, clearly tell the point so that examiner sees it, puts a tick mark and give you the marks. Okay, so I'm just telling you because our main series is also going on. So you should know ideally how to write an answer. So these were the 3 articles. Again, not very big articles and important articles, and it's also repetitive. These laws will keep coming in the news. So whenever it comes in a better format, I'll again discuss. Okay, so this is the contact details. Please see to it that you have subscribed and wait for the next episode. Thank you and have a nice day.